In this decade, the percentage of the population that is poor is 120% of what it was last decade, which was 30% of the population. What is the current percentage of poor people in the population? So I've highlighted a few keywords here, and I'm going to draw it out on a table on the right so we can see it clearer. So I'm going to write then to talk about last decade, then, and I'm going to talk about now for this decade. So when I draw this out, we're going to say the population will be 100%, the entire population, and it says here that 30% were poor, so we'll write 30% underneath. And now it's saying that the poor is 120%, so let's write that for this decade. And we're trying to work out what percentage are poor, so this is our question mark and our final question. Now there are numerous ways we can solve this, but the real question is, how do we get from 100% to 120%? Which, if we look, is a 20% difference. And there's a few ways of solving this. So one of them is we could take our 100%, divide it by 5, which will give us 20%, times it by 6, and we get 120%. So if we do this with our number of 30% at the bottom, for the poor people, we would get 30 divided by 5, which will equal 6. And when we times it by 6, we're going to end up with 36%, which if we look on our left is the first option down, and it is our final answer. Now another way of solving this is by looking and saying 100% equals 30. So if I take off a 0 from both of them, I can say that 10% will equal 3. And as we're looking for 20%, and 10% times 2 equals 20, we're just going to times this 3 by 2, which will give us 6. And this will equal 20%. Now, we're not looking for 20%, we're looking for 120. So we know 100% is 30. We know 20% is 6. So it's just going to be 30 plus 6, which will give us the same answer as before of 36%.